getting the perfect pic. She shares tips on how to nail this shot.
Taking photos outdoors, make sure you aren't making this one mistake. Notice how the horizon line where the ocean meets the sky is right in the middle of my head. You do not want this. Instead, I'm going to turn to a diagonal to get a more interesting angle, and I'm going to have my photographer raise the camera so the horizon line is well above my head. Another way I can fix this is by having my photographer lower the camera so the horizon line is well below my shoulders. This is the result. Be sure to share this with a friend who takes your photos.
Clearly, we have a lot to talk about because we can't shut up with this one. And that's just one of the many tips she shares on her social media channels. Her ultimate goal, help others feel confident in their photos. Whether you're on vacation, you're taking a selfie, everything in between. You're taking pictures of your red lentil pasta.
It's all about
or eating
it. Right?
Christine, help.
I'm here to help. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, thank you so much for doing this with us. Okay, so all three of us, what is your favorite go-to pose?
The thing is, it really depends on what I'm wearing. So in this outfit in particular, one of the segments that I like to do on both my TikTok and Instagram is how to pose wearing a blank. So this morning I did how to pose wearing a jumpsuit, which I mean, the way you'd pose in a dress or you in a suit would be different than the jumpsuit. So it's really kind of about honoring what you wear, finding the lines of your outfit. So like for this outfit today, since there's a lot of volume in the bottom half of my body, I would kind of elongate my leg to show off the lines of the jumpsuit, and then do something that brings the attention to the upper half of my body just to kind of balance out the proportions. So maybe I'd kind of do hand on hip like this.
The hand on the hip.
He doesn't like the hand on the hip.
I don't either normally, but that's why we do like the reverse hand on the hip where, I mean, it's more of like a feminine pose, but where it's where your thumb is facing the front.
So let me go back to it, right?
Well, I will say, before you get into the machinations of the perfect pose, that has become over the years.
Word, machinations.
Yes, the machinations.
I must have gone to Wesleyan.
Yeah, really. There it is. One count for the Wesleyan mention.
This used to be my go-to because I saw it in social media. The skinny arm. What was your what is your go-to pose? The crossed arms.
But then it's closed off, right? So, and I'm always, do I unbutton? Do I button?
Right.
I like to, you know, when we did photos the other day for our
for work,
I wasn't sure what to do with my hands.
Yeah, I mean that's a big problem that so many people encounter.
Okay, so before we get into this. How did you get into this business? Because we only book the best.
We're on a time schedule.
No. But I just wonder, like, how you became so good at posing and then showing us how to pose.
Yeah, so I actually began my career in magazines. So I was like 21 years old. You know, I was in the fashion closet at Marie Claire, and one of kind of the things that we got to do was attend the photo shoots and help out with the stylists and everything like that. And so at that point, you know, I was 21 years old and the models were around my age, so I'd become friends with all the models on the shoots. And I had started a blog, since that's what like everybody within the fashion industry did in like 2010, 2011. And I would use all the tips that I'd learned on the photo shoots for my own poses. And everything was going fine and dandy. And then in 2014, I changed my medication. I gained 70 pounds, and I had no idea how to pose for photos anymore.
Wow.
Yeah, so I kind of realized like I didn't want my inability to pose my new body to hold me back from doing something I loved. So I went back to the drawing board, learned everything there was to learn, and then really kind of honed in on it. And I realized that so many of my opportunities that I had came from my ability to present myself through photos. You know, I was on the cover of Redbook's September 2015 issue. That was the last time I was here, actually, on Pix 11, I think. It was like 8 years ago. Yeah.
I missed this.
Yeah, I was here.
So you were here then?
I was a reporter, but yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we did like the early morning show. It was like super early. It was really fun though. We had to be here really early. But basically, you know, I realized that we live in this digital age where so many of our first impressions are made through photos. You know, whether you're trying to make friends, you stalk them on Instagram, or you're finding a job, it's through LinkedIn, or, you know, 30% of people in America get married because of dating apps. So it's even like finding a partner.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Because the photo is secondary to feeling confident enough in your own skin and your own body, right? And so that's the obstacle number one before the actual pose.
Well, it's interesting because I think that there is, especially within anything that comes to confidence, and that's something that I definitely work on with, like, you know, my clients and the people that I coach through my courses and everything, is that you build confidence by building competence. And the way to build that is through practice. So for instance, let's say, you know, you guys are extremely confident getting in front of the camera, talking, that kind of thing, but maybe you aren't as confident posing for still
That
photos.
is me 1,000%.
Yeah.
And
1,000%.
Yeah, it's something that the more
and we're
you
in front
do
of cameras every day.
I mean, you put a still camera in front of me, and all of a sudden I'm like, I don't know what I'm,
He's like, photo, do my
like smiling. I'm like,
So your first tip is posing your body in a way that is, we choose unflattering angles.
Yes.
So how do we find our angles?
Yeah, so basically, a lot of people when they take photos tend to either face the camera straight on like this, or they'll go directly to the side. And especially if you are someone like me who's very top heavy, the side, there's a lot going on right here. So there's something in photography called the universally flattering angle. And that's when you do a slight 45-degree turn from the camera. So
which camera do we want to use here?
Which
camera should we use here?
I think we'll use this one. Yeah,
okay,
we'll use this one.
Go ahead.
Okay, so this is me facing the camera straight on. This is me to the side.
Yeah.
This is just doing a slight little pivot
slight
like this.
pivot. Okay.
And that really kind of creates a more narrow line. It makes your body look longer. When you're taking photos, you're taking a 3D object and you're making it two-dimensional. So this kind of allows more dimension without looking as like flat and boxy. So when in doubt, just go 45.
But which 45? This one or this one? Do you need to know your warm side and your cold side? Is that actually a thing?
Yeah, it is. So the best way to figure this out is actually by taking a sheet of paper, holding it up in front of one side, holding it up in front of, just covering half of your face.
I'm a corpse no matter which.
So you literally just like cover half the face, take a photo either way, and then figure out which side you like. For a lot of people, it's the side that the part of their hair goes toward.
So I have a part right here, and I actually don't like
And you have
facing.
a calic over here.
I have this awful calic.
It's the big
no
side.
one sees it.
Now
So-
you pointed it out.
So
This
for
is the
you,
big
it would be
side.
that side that you probably like, your right side.
So
is
he
probably
should do
your go-to
45
side.
this way.
So you go 45 this way.
Oh, you go 45,
That way,
shut it.
that way his
Because I don't
good
like
side is
seeing
facing the
that.
camera.
Okay, 45.
Yeah.
All right.
Tip number 2 is all about the legs.
Yes. So a lot of people forget that their legs exist when they're posing for photos. You know, they'll just kind of stand and they'll go like this, which again looks very boxy, two-dimensional.
Yeah.
The easiest way, and this works for everybody, just taking one step back with your leg and just balancing like this. You can see there's a big difference between standing like this and standing like this, which just makes you look more like you're more in movement.
Where is the weight? Equally distributed? Front
The
leg,
weight,
back leg?
Normally on the back leg. Yeah, and if you want your pose to look very
Normally it'd be on the
posed or
front
more
leg.
feminine, you can point your toe. If you want it to be more relaxed, you can keep it relaxed.
Wait, why would you put your weight on your front leg? How are you standing? You going this? You going for a
might
run?
be
If you're
standing like
stepping,
this?
yeah.
Are you going for a run?
Don't act like I haven't taken an action photo of you mid-step
Well,
like you're in the
that's-
Beatles album
that's
cover.
right.
Now,
Yes.
hands.
Hands, so
That's
that's
the thing,
big
because
one.
you don't know this, you do this, you do
Or
thi-
you do this.
Yeah, that's the bad no-no.
That's the one. Or you do this, or you do this. What do you do?
Yeah, so really the first thing to assess is your outfit. If you have pockets, you can interact with your pockets. And instead, you can go either hand in all the way, or you can loop your thumb in, keep your fingers out, or keep your fingers in, thumb out. Does that kind of make sense? Yeah, so like that. So it's a little bit challenging to see because he has the coat on. So you can go like that, or you can flip it so, yes. Or you can flip it so your thumb is in and your fingers are out, like that, or you can just put your hands in entirely. So another thing too is interacting. For instance, you have that blazer on, you could grab onto your button like that. I'd go a little bit lower maybe, yeah, right at the
Look at
button.
you.
So it kind of creates that motion.
We're trying to create his dating profile here.
Oh
so
yeah,
let's-
definitely.
So hold the lapel.
Yeah, so you can hold onto the lapel.
Yeah.
I have a dress. I have no holes.
Yeah, so you don't have any pockets. So it's really thinking about what you kind of want to accent within your dress.
Okay.
So
This is
for you,
beautiful.
if you wanted
Cindy
to,
Castro.
instead of grabbing on like the
Yes.
teapot or the skinny arm, you can take your hand, flip it to the side. That will show off kind of the lines of your body a bit better.
Like that?
And then put the elbow backwards a bit. Yeah, like that.
yeah.
See, that really
You like
opens
this?
it up.
And
You like
and
this?
the leg?
And the shoe and the leg.
See, that's a beautiful pose.
That's great.
I think who I am right now. I
mean,
feel so
seriously.
awkward.
Now take a
Yeah,
tight shot
I mean,
of...
posing itself is awkward.
Yeah.
So, there's really nothing natural about it.
Right.
And I think that's a big misconception. People think that, you just step in front of a camera and you know what to do,
Yeah.
but it's just learning things.
Okay, we were talking earlier. The new thing is taking a picture, but from down low,
I
which
thought it
I'm
was
always like,
high.
"Ah."
I thought the angle was always high to not get
Yeah, double chin.
So it really depends on what you're trying to achieve. For instance, if it's a full body picture, you want to be sure that the lens is anywhere between kind of your shoulders and your natural waist, or else you'll end up looking really short if it's from a higher angle. But if it's something where it's like a headshot or you're seated, a little bit of a higher angle is good.
Okay.
And if you feel like you need to minimize the double chin, one of the things I would suggest if you're being shot from a lower angle is to kind of bring your shoulders toward the camera. You just want to hinge forward slightly and then push your chin forward like this. So instead of being like this, you kind of bring yourself toward the camera a little bit.
I see, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
We need to have her on speed dial. Apparently, you're great at posing.
Me?
For a picture.
Wow.
Let's see.
What do we got? Guys,
Oh, that's wonderful.
This is 20 years ago.
You look amazing.
You were posing perfectly before you even knew. Who's this hot guy?
Where'd you pull this photo
I love
out
that.
This hot guy.
I think it's great. So you're at your 45-degree angle. You have your hand in your pocket. You're interacting with your clothing, and it looks like you have a sense of movement. So you're not just standing like that. You have your weight distributed on your back leg. So picture perfect.
Yeah. Wow, that
You
is
see?
literally when I was 22 years old.
Look at that.
Wow.
When
look
you
at
used
that.
to be somebody.
I used to be somebody.
Used to be somebody.
I mean, I thought who I was with the messenger bag. I was very
We
serious.
all had a
brooding.
messenger bag when we were 20.
Last one. You say don't say cheese, but
Yes.
say what?
So the thing is, happy smiles go up instead of out, and when you say
All right.
cheese,
What do you say
you're
instead?
You say money, yoga, or hey.
Okay.
Money, yoga, hey. Christine,
Awesome.
thank you.
Thank you
Follow
so
her.
much.
We'll post all of this on our website, and we'll be right back.
Yes. Chin up.
Money.
Chin forward.